Wake the wine with your mouth, Crystal. My billionaire ex leaned in with a demonic whisper on his private jet. 3 years ago, I was his world. Now, I'm kneeling at his feet, scrubbing wine off his pants while his fiancée sneers at my incompetence. He wants to destroy my last shred of dignity. Little does he know, I became the villain just to keep him alive. 30 minutes before the private jet was scheduled to land, we hit turbulence. The red wine in Damien's hand sloshed, spilling down the side of the glass and onto his custom-tailored trousers. His fiancée, Tiffany, gasped, recoiling in disgust. She pointed at me, snapping, "Are you completely incompetent? Can't even hold a glass steady? Hurry up and clean that up for Damien." I immediately knelt on the thick leather carpet, a warm towel in hand. Head bowed, fingers trembling, I reached toward the legs of the man I'd once spent countless nights with. A soft, contemptuous chuckle came from above me. The next second, his icy fingers pinched my chin, forcing me to look up. "Crystal, you used to be so high and mighty. Now, for money, you've got kneeling down to an art form." I lowered my gaze, avoiding his scrutinizing stare. "Damien, I'll cover the cleaning bill for your trousers, of course." "Cleaning bill?" He slowly unbuckled his belt. "It's my private jet, so we play by my rules." He leaned in close to my ear, his voice low, almost a growl. "You weren't cleaning pants the last time you were in this position." Chapter 1. The hand holding the towel froze in midair. The air in the cabin seemed to solidify. Tiffany watched from the side, irritation flickering in her eyes. She probably hadn't heard Damien's whisper, likely just assuming he was scolding a clumsy flight attendant. I took a deep breath, forcibly suppressing the churning emotions within me. In the past 3 years, the most important thing I'd learned was how to endure. "Mr. Damien, you're joking." I lowered my head, continuing my task, dabbing away the wine stain on his trousers with the towel. Through the expensive fabric, I could feel the tension in his thigh muscles. It had to be a physiological reaction, either extreme aversion or extreme restraint. Tiffany's right, I'm clumsy. As I wiped, I glanced out of the corner of my eye at the newly opened bottle of red wine. Romani Conti. He used to only open it for me on anniversaries. Now, he was splashing it around like water. Damien didn't speak again, just watched me coldly. His gaze was like someone watching a dog beg for scraps. Seeing his silence, Tiffany seemed to think he was still angry. To appease him, she turned and snapped at me again. "Clean it properly. These trousers are custom made. If you damage them, you couldn't pay for them even if you sold yourself." I dutifully replied, "Yes, Miss Tiffany." Of course I knew I couldn't afford them. All my possessions combined couldn't probably even buy one toilet seat on this plane. After wiping away the last bit of wine stain, I prepared to stand up. Damien suddenly extended a foot, stepping on the hem of my skirt. My movement halted, and I almost toppled forward onto him. I caught myself, still kneeling. "Damien?" I looked up, puzzled. He leaned back in his seat, his long fingers idly tapping the armrest. "If you're apologizing, is just cleaning it enough?" He pointed to the bottle, still half full. "This wine hasn't breathed enough. I don't like the taste. Since you're such a professional, why don't you help me breathe the wine again?" Tiffany looked confused. "Damien, wasn't this wine already ready?" Damien ignored her, his eyes locked on me. "With your mouth." Chapter 2. I froze in place. Breathing wine with your mouth. It was humiliating slang in this line of work, or perhaps a game for lovers. When we were together, he'd played that game at home. But now, we were thousands of feet in the air, in front of his fiancée. He wanted to strip away my last shred of dignity and stomp on it. "What? Not willing?" Damien raised an eyebrow. "I heard you're really desperate for money these days. That you'll do anything for cash? If you breathe this bottle of wine properly, I'll double your tip." Double. Those 2 words pierced